Hey friend, I'm so glad that you stopped by today. I am genuinely so excited for today's video because we are gonna start decorating for fall. I'm starting a little bit earlier than I typically have the last couple of years, simply because I think our weather is just odd this year. It truly feels like fall is in the air. It's been cool and crisp in the morning and the evening, and we've had the windows open. We even had a fire on Saturday. I can't believe it. And so I felt very inspired to take my own advice today, to start slow, to enjoy the process, and that's what we're gonna do. So I started out here in the family room yesterday. I didn't film it, but I gave this space a really deep clean. I'm talking opening the windows, washing the windows, dusting baseboards, washing couch cushions. I'm so thankful for my slip covers. They're from IKEA. Washing pillow covers, dusting, like vacuuming, mopping, the whole thing. This room feels so fresh and clean. And sure enough, that inspired me to want to start decorating this morning. And so we're just gonna hang out, keep things casual, and see where we get today. I definitely wanna tackle the family room. We might do a little bit in the entry and my office. And then stay tuned. I think in part 2 of fall decorating, we'll then do the kitchen, dining, hearth area. So I decided to break it up just to make it less overwhelming, both for me as the creator and also for you guys as the viewer, because I don't think it's realistic to watch a 10 or 20 minute video and watch somebody decorate their house from top to bottom and make it feel like it's this fast process when really it takes me days, sometimes weeks. But anyway, I hope you're excited to hang out today. Maybe grab yourself a cup of coffee or a hot tea, get comfy, and let's get decorating. And before we start decorating today, I wanted to pause and kindly thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. As the season starts to change, it can be totally normal and okay to feel just a little bit off. Maybe you're feeling really lonely this season. Maybe you're feeling burnout by either work or motherhood or just the stress of life. And I want to encourage you that therapy can help year-round, even during the times of year that are supposed to be happy. Therapy has helped me so much in day-to-day life, having someone to talk to who's going to give me unbiased professional advice in areas of my life where I tend to get stressed out or overwhelmed, like I just talked about in the intro, talking about getting overwhelmed decorating. Or sometimes content creation comes at the cost of putting yourself out there and hearing the negative comments and hearing, things about yourself that you maybe wouldn't hear if you didn't share as much as you do. And I know that comes with the territory, but having a safe space, someone to talk to, totally changed my life in a professional way, but then also at home. As a mom of 3, I juggle a lot and it can be overwhelming at times. And just having a safe space to learn how to cope with that stress in a healthy way really has been so beneficial. And if you didn't know, BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that allows you to virtually do therapy from anywhere. As a homebody, I love that I can do my therapy sessions from the comfort of my own home. And getting started is as simple as filling out a quick questionnaire. It just takes a few minutes and you'll be matched with a licensed professional therapist within just a few days. Ultimately, if you have a session with a therapist that you're matched with and it's not a great fit, no big deal. You can change therapists at any time with the ease of a click of a button at no additional cost to you. And just remember, therapy is not just for when life feels like it's falling apart. It's okay to talk to someone just because something feels off and you can't explain why. So if you're struggling or you just need someone to talk to, consider BetterHelp. You can go to betterhelp.com/Amy Fritz for 10% off of your first month's therapy. Okay, we're gonna start with our foyer area. And like I said, I took all my summery decor down, so everything is really bare and minimal. Definitely scaled back right now. I deep cleaned it all. And now I'm ready to add back in those fall touches. So I'm really, really excited. I want to keep things simple though here in the entry space and not over decorate it. So we'll see. I'm gonna play with a few options. I was at a local garden shop. If you're local to me, it's called Andy's. And they have like a garden center, but then they have a gift shop with faux florals and home decor and that kind of a thing. And anyway, I found this beautiful vase. It's like concrete, but it looks like wood. It's solid and it's a perfect size. I like that it doesn't have a really wide opening. It's nice and narrow, so flowers will look a little more compact in there, but I just thought it was really pretty. Anyway, I'm gonna stick it here. And so I have these stems. They're actually from Target. They're from the Hearth and Hand line, I think. I got them in January, so I use these in the winter as well, but I thought they'd be really pretty for this time of year. They have sort of a pinkish, taupish color to them, and then they still have some green. So we're still gonna be adding elements of green throughout the space because it's still green outside. So anyway, I have a bunch of these and I'm just gonna do a big bushel in that vase that I just shared. And then I found this beautiful greenish, almost bluish heirloom pumpkin from Hobby Lobby. Typically I like to decorate with real pumpkins, but this year I am gonna use faux, I think. I might end up getting some real ones. I don't know yet, but I happened to see this and I thought it was so beautiful and lifelike. And it is nice that I can use it year after year, so it doesn't feel super wasteful. But anyway, I'm just gonna put it right here next to my lamp. Entry table is done and I love it because it's very muted, it's very early fall. I can always swap out the florals in the vase if, you know, we get into end of September and I want something with more oranges. But speaking of oranges, I am going to throw a little pillow here on my entry bench. I just have this plaid pillow that says thankful on it. And I've sort of gotten away from graphic pillows in general. I think they can tend to cheapen the look of a space. However, I think there's a time and a place for it. I just need a small statement pillow for this entry bench. I have no other words going on in the entry space. And I got this in the outdoor section at Lowe's a couple years ago. It's actually an outdoor pillow. I had it on my porch, I think last year, maybe the year before. But anyway, I thought it would be a really pretty way to bring orange just a little bit into the entry and have a little statement. As far as my haul tree goes, I think I'm just gonna put a real plant sitting on top of it. I still have a handful of real plants that I'm trying to keep alive, so you will see those kind of sprinkled throughout my spaces, even though they're not really fall decor. But I do have this faux pumpkin. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's kind of like Perfectly Imperfect, again in a little heirloom style, and I'm just gonna put it down below on the book stack. So just a couple of fall touches, but I think they'll make a nice impact. The entry is done, we're going to focus our time and attention here in my great room space, which, like I mentioned, I deep cleaned everything. It is bare bones right now. I don't have any seasonal decor, no florals. I stripped it all down, got it clean. It feels really good in here, but I'm also ready for, I have my fall decorating totes right there. I'm also ready for it to feel cozy and full again. So starting out, we're actually going to start with my mantle. Ooh, the sun is shining. We're gonna start with my mantle because I know myself and I know it'll take me the longest time because I'm not super confident in my mantle garland decorating capabilities, but we're gonna try our best today. And I think I have a really fun idea. I was doing some online shopping and I thought for sure I was going to buy a garland for my mantle just to have to use year after year. I'm okay in investing in nice things if I'm gonna use them every year. But for some reason, I could not bring myself to spend the amounts of money that a fall garland costs from some of the, typical stores like a Floral or a Pottery Barn. They're just so expensive. And I thought to myself, I could make something just as pretty myself. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try. And if it looks really dumb and like a toddler did it, then, lesson learned, and I'll bite the bullet and buy a nice one, but we're gonna try. I went to Hobby Lobby. I got these leaves. They're like little goldish orangey leaves. They're in the pick aisle, not the floral section, but the pick aisle. You know what I'm talking about. I got a handful of these. I got a handful of these guys, which they're $2.99 regular price, but I got them 50% off, so I paid $1.50 each. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make this for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe $30 at most. So there you go. But anyway, I got these. I have these little dried hydrangea looking ones, same thing from Hobby Lobby. I have these silly little magnolia leaves. I have a handful of these. These aren't from Hobby Lobby. They're not picks. I actually just cut them off of a fall garland I had purchased last year on Amazon that I used last year, but I filled it up so much with other things, I don't think you could really even tell it was there. I had to do a lot of zhuzhing because it was pretty cheap looking, but I liked these green leaves to kind of blend in and bring some of that green into the garland. So anyway, I'm yapping at this point. And then last but not least, I have these stems. I'm gonna use a few of them. They're so pretty. They have orange and green. So again, I think they're gonna marry everything together beautifully. I wish I had a link for these. I sadly do not. They came from a local boutique. I've talked about this store a million times by now, but it's Expressions of the Home in Troy, Ohio. It's a cute little home decor antique plant shop. But I don't know if I can find these online. I'll try, but just something whimsical I think would kind of give the same effect. So anyway, all that to say, these are the stems I have. I have like 4 or 5 each, and we're just gonna kind of throw them together on the mantle and hope it looks okay. From this angle, I'll give you a close-up shot in a little bit, but I love it. I love how it turned out. I ended up not extending it all the way because I'm gonna do candlesticks on either side with some LED tapered candles. Mantle took a while, just like I knew it would, but it actually turned out better than I expected. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I love the oranges and the greens. As far as in this family room space, my rug in here has a lot of greens and blues and mustards and beiges. So that's really what I'm playing with in here. As far as pillows go, I have these larger throw pillows. They're from Walmart, and I'm pretty sure they're still available. I know they're still in store. I don't know if they're online or not. I'll look. And then I have some smaller ones from Hobby Lobby. And these are just such a cozy throw pillow for fall. I love the deep green. I think it's gonna pair really nicely with the light blue together in this space. I like to have lots of blankets in this space during the fall and winter months. I have a bunch in my basket, but as far as displaying them, I'm gonna swap out this kind of light waffle knit blanket for this really cozy knitted throw I got from, I wanna say Target a few years ago, but the thicker knit patterns are just perfect. They're such a pretty, cozy texture to add to your home in the fall. So on the secretary space, I pretty much always keep this little lamp I got from Kirkland's, big mirror to make it feel light and open in this space, I think also from Kirkland's. But I like to swap out seasonal florals. This floral arrangement is not only going to be beautiful in my great room, but you see it from the kitchen and dining. So I usually like to make more of a statement with this one. And I have this pot. I obviously took my summery florals out of it. I think I had hydrangeas in here, like white ones. But I love vintage copper in the fall months. I think it is so beautiful and timeless. So we're going to keep this vessel here. It also fits on here really nicely. So I have a couple of floral ideas I think I'm gonna use. So first up, I have this bushel of dried florals. You can see there's some browns in there. It's really, really pretty and whimsical from Hobby Lobby. In the dried floral section, not the fall section, but the dried floral aisle is where you can find them, or something similar, I'm sure. These are a little bit worn, but I'm gonna start with these in the center of this vessel. And then if you saw my fall decor haul, you would have seen these already, but I purchased these dried hydrangeas from Amazon, actually. I can't get over how pretty they are. They're such a pretty green, which matches this space so well. I've got those green pillows and my greens in the rug. It just, I don't know, it matches, but it's also true to the season right now. So anyway, I can't get over how like crunchy and crispy they look. Very real. They feel very real. And so I think even though the colors are kind of, I don't know, contradictory, I'm gonna play around with this and try to make a fun arrangement. I always figure the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't look good and I start over. Okay, so coffee table time. I've got this wicker tray. It's from the at-home store. This is a book box. It's where we keep the remotes. And then I thrifted this fun, I don't know, vase. Is it a candle holder? I don't know, but I thrifted it and I'm gonna use it for these picks. I had some leftover picks from the garland. Pop these in here and I think I gotta zhuzh them a little, but they're really pretty and they're nice and subtle. I didn't want anything taking away from the hydrangea arrangement we did over on the secretary. So we've got that. This is just a white kind of heirloom style pumpkin from Hobby Lobby. I'm gonna put it right there. Ooh. I've got a pumpkin spice latte candle from Bath and Body Works, and we'll light that. Last but not least, I'm gonna add this wreath to our barn door over here. And I just love kind of this white whimsical berry look. I got this on Amazon and then I bought the brown ribbon separate on Amazon, I think too, maybe Walmart, I'm not sure. But I love the pop of brown it brings. It's very neutral, but adds that little touch of fall to the space. And I used it last year and loved it a lot too. off of my great room is just my little office area. And this space, 9 times out of 10, is cluttered with papers and planners and cameras and all the things. So I really don't like a lot of decor, but I want something in this back corner just so you could peek in and see. So I have this vintage crock here, and then I have these beautiful stems. I used these last year. They're actually from Walmart, and I think they're still available. They're very affordable. I'm just gonna pair these together, and then I've got a little faux white pumpkin from Hobby Lobby. Okay, now that everything is decorated for the most part, I'm going to turn the camera around and just kind of walk you through so you can see all of it as it came together. So starting back in the entry, I'm not going to repeat myself. I already talked about this space, but I wanted to kind of include it in the final look. But looking into our great room, the sun is pouring in here right now. It's so pretty. First things first, the mantle. This is one of the first things you see when you open our front door, and I just love that. I spent a good bit of time on this little garland, and is it perfect? No, but I think it's really beautiful, and I love the color palette, and I didn't spend a lot of money on it, so I'm really, really pleased with how that came together. I know it's gonna be so cozy in the evening when I have these LED candles on. And then looking in this way, you can see our couches. I really love the addition of the green plaid. I think that's really pretty for autumn. And surprisingly enough, I kind of just threw the coffee table decor together, but I really love it. This pumpkin spice candle is the star of the show. It smells so good in here. It's like a fall coffee shop. I just want to cuddle up with a good book. But I added more of these orange stems to the thrifted vessel like I talked about, but then just adding a simple white pumpkin, I think the contrast is really pretty. And then looking over on the secretary, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how pretty this hydrangea arrangement came to be, especially since it's from Amazon. These stems are just so beautiful, and I love the little whimsical dried stems I added to it just for some added texture. I think the colors are really pretty and match the space well. And then of course the addition of the wreath on the door I think is so beautiful for autumn, and that touch of brown I think is just the right balance. And then we added the chunky knit throw, and I think that's it. Just a few swaps, and this space feels like fall. Makes my heart so happy. Well, friends, thank you so much for hanging out today. I had so much fun playing with decor. It truly was a joy to spend time together. And let me just remind you that it's okay to take your time. That's what I'm gonna do this year. One room at a time, one area at a time, one surface at a time, whatever you need to do to enjoy the process and be kind to yourself. I encourage you to do that. I know for me, just focusing on the family room today was a lot of fun. I felt like I had more time and flexibility to be more creative, to spend more time on the mantle, and now I can just enjoy this space all season long, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you happen to be new here today, welcome. I'm so glad that you stopped by. I hope that you will subscribe before you leave, because you'll wanna be notified when part 2 of my fall decorating videos come out when we tackle the kitchen and dining space. You won't wanna miss that. But again, thank you friends so much for watching today. I hope you are left feeling encouraged and inspired to tackle something in your home, and I'll see you really soon in the next one. Bye.